standing by. We've got all of your news, weather, and sports that you need to get out the door here this morning. Lots to talk about. The Nebraska women's basketball team back on the floor tonight. They're heading out west. They got a game against Oregon tonight. Then they'll have a game against Washington coming up this weekend. The Huskers trying to break a 5-game losing streak. So we'll talk about that here this morning. The Nebraska baseball team, they went 3-1 on their opening weekend down in Arizona. Now they'll play 3 games down in Arlington, Texas this week in the college baseball series. We'll get some comments coming up from Husker head coach Will Bolt here this morning. Nebraska head football coach Matt Rule has made it official. He has promoted 2 assistant coaches to lead the Huskers special teams, has also hired another defensive assistant. So we'll talk about that coming up here this morning. Exciting times at Lynn Farrell Arena last night. Micah Heinrichs drained a 3-pointer as time expired to give Hastings College a 61-58 win over Doane to keep their postseason playoff hopes alive. Hastings College women's basketball team, they took care of business. They beat Doane last night by 21 points. Adams Central has won the Class B Girls State Wrestling Championship in Omaha. Omaha Westside claiming the honors in Class A, and girls sub-district basketball championships are scheduled for tonight. So all that and more. Got some other stuff we'll discuss here this morning as we wake up, get going here for a Thursday morning as we welcome in Tyson Ervonic from the Western Studios. Good morning, my man.
And a good morning. Slightly more on the chilly side. I can hear that wind just howling through. Not super excited for the weekend ahead, and as you mentioned, the weather and the pending forecast has kind of played havoc with our sub-district basketball plans too. North of here, St. Paul, the Ord area, it's not looking really pretty, and so Ord's saying, "Can we come this weekend?"
Yeah, we had a sub-district basketball game scheduled for tonight, St. Cecilia and Ord. That game has been postponed. That's the final in C2-7. So they'll try to play that game on Saturday afternoon, 3 o'clock starting time. That was our game tonight. So obviously with the postponement, we'll have no game on the air tonight here on Extreme Sports. Let's talk about the weather right off the bat. Not a whole lot around here. It was just referring to some stuff from our meteorologist, Tim Jones from Nebraska Weather TV. It looks like we're going to have a very small little area of a winter storm warning today, and it's just like a small band across the middle portion of the state. Like you said, around St. Paul, the Ord area stretching into Columbus, and now into Omaha. They're not calling for much snow here in Hastings. About an inch is what they're saying right now. Grand Island is expected to have about 2.5 inches of snow. Kearney, about 1.5. Just over 1.5 inches of snow in Lincoln. Omaha could see up to 3 inches. Broken Bow, they're calling for 5.2 inches of snow. Ord, 5.6. Columbus, 5.4. Thetford, 7.5 inches of snow. North Platte, 1.6. And Omaha, maybe about 3 inches, slightly over 3 inches. The problem is going to be the winds today. They're going to be out of the northwest, gusting to 35 miles per hour. So if you're traveling in some of those areas that's calling for heavier snow, travel may be hazardous up around the Broken Bow Ord area, stretching into Columbus and Thetford, even into the Omaha metro. So today is not going to be a good day. As far as we're concerned, it looks like just a windy, colder day, and we're going to have some snow on and off throughout the day. Tim will have the latest on the forecast coming up at the bottom of the hour today, but we wanted to get that in as you get up and get going this morning that, yeah, we do have some weather issues. Hey, it is the 19th day of February. You knew it was going to come sooner or later. We're still going to have snow, still going to have to deal with the winter weather, and today is one of them that we have to deal with. So
I'm just more miserable about it because I haven't been acclimated to it. Like, if this is in the middle of February on a normal winter, I'm like, okay, well, it's cold again. Welcome to Nebraska. But when you get like 70s and you get opportunities to have garage beers and shorts and cutoffs in the middle of the week at like 70 degrees, and then all of a sudden, next thing you know, bam, it's 20 and awful.
It's a shock to your system.
And I know it goes in the reverse order. Like, when this happens in the springtime, like when we have, it's 30 below, and, today it's going to be 20. And that's a 50-degree swing, and that 50-degree swing makes you feel like, oh, man, I could wear shorts. It's 20 degrees. Psychologically, that's what it does to your system. It's like when you go in the negative direction. I was reading today we have a 55-degree swing from yesterday in what we're looking at for Friday. 55-degree swing in the wrong direction. I don't want to go. I don't want to go south. If we're plunging, that's like getting out of a sauna and jumping into a swimming pool. Have you ever had that feeling? What that sensation feels like? It's not fun. It's cold. I'm not here for it.
I just mentioned, I think last night to somebody, it was nice going to a basketball game last night where I didn't even wear a coat last night.
Nope.
I didn't even wear a coat, and I got out of the game and hopped in my car, and here it is, mid to late February, and I'm not even wearing a coat. I can't remember the last time that's happened, but we knew we had this day coming. A lot of the meteorologists were saying it's going to be a lot worse than it's really going to be. And talking with Tim just a little while ago, it's not going to be a big event around here, but again, up around the Broken Bow, Ord, Thetford area, there's just that little small path that we're in a winter storm warning today for some dangerous winter conditions stretching into the Omaha metro area, but it should blow out of here. It's going to be cold for the weekend, and then next week doesn't look too bad. So just a little bump in the road. But we wanted to get you up to date on the weather as you get up and get going this morning. You may have heard the winds blowing outdoors as your alarm clocks go off this morning. That's what's going on there. A couple other notes we want to bring up here. And again, you're always welcome to join us. 402-834-1330. 402-834-1330. That's the Hamilton Telecommunications fan line. If you'd like to chime in with us, maybe some weather thoughts, maybe something on your sports mind today, or anything else on your mind, we got plenty of room to talk to you today. So 402-834-1330 is our telephone number. If you'd like to leave us a message on our social media sites, we're monitoring those comments as well. I guess in the Olympics, the big thing that happened yesterday, U.S. men's hockey team, the men's hockey team beat Sweden 2-1 in overtime. They will advance to the semifinals now on Friday. The U.S. men will play Slovakia in the semifinals on Friday, with Canada taking on Finland. So now the U.S. men and women's hockey teams had advanced to the semifinal rounds. The women, I think they played today, and the men will be in the semifinals tomorrow against Slovakia. So that's what's going on in the Olympics from yesterday. It's probably the highlight off of the agenda yesterday.
There you go. I want to get your thoughts on one thing. I'm going to take the wheel for a second.
All right.
Because you're big on the NASCAR. You've been doing a lot of stuff, making a lot of comments about calling things back. Got to go back to the way things were, back to this, back to that, back to this. A former driver is kind of giving like NASCAR the get off my lawn spiel. And I'm just curious because we watched the Daytona 500. We saw Tyler Reddick. We saw the final lap. We saw the chaos. We saw the carnage. It is what it was, man. I mean, it was a Daytona 500 finish. You mentioned it. It's a super speedway. You might as well just throw darts at the wall to pick your driver on some of them super speedway races. Jeremy Mayfield, who I believe drove the Mobil 1 car back in the day, Had a win at Pocono at some point in his race career. Said another Daytona 500 down. Another finish where the winner leads one lap because everyone else is out or in the wall. We just spent hours watching professional drivers save gas like they're driving a freaking Prius. Only, and I edited that word, only for the finish to be decided like that. We're supposed to call this the Great American Race? This car is a tank. The drivers have zero respect, and the trophy is losing its meaning. Seeing the veterans get chewed up and spit out by the bump and run tactics that these younger drivers, it's getting out of hand to watch. And today proved the experience doesn't matter at Daytona anymore. Who is willing to be the biggest wrecking ball? If you enjoyed that finish, you're a fan of crashes, not a fan of racing. I got to tell you, I enjoyed the finish of the Daytona 500.
Unfortunately, a lot of people tune in to races to see what we saw in the last couple of laps. I know fuel savings is an issue in some of these tracks. And Denny Hamlin, he came out after or slightly before, I think, the Daytona 500. And he wants to increase the speeds at super speedway tracks to get them away from conserving fuel and making pit stop strategies based on fuel consumption. A lot of the bigger races come down to who's saving the most fuel. Mm-hmm. And Denny would like to return it back to more racing and increased speeds and things like that. There's a lot of discussion. If you're a NASCAR fan, you kind of know what I'm talking about. But Jeremy's comments, interesting.
It's pretty spicy. I mean, it sounds like a driver that's like still rooting for the old days. But I always kind of thought that there was a mentality that Rubbin was racing. I mean, I know that's old school talk, and I see NASCAR highlights from like the early 90s and late 80s, and they raced maliciously, man. Like they were out having a little demolition derby on a race course, and so I guess get where he's coming from.
So you're one of the new bloods in the racing business. So I'm slowly but surely wheeling you in on my NASCAR rod and reel. I've got you on my hook.
I got you
I got you on my hook. I'm standing on the bank, reeling you in slowly into the NASCAR circle here. I got you into the Fantasy NASCAR League, and now in the first 15 minutes of the show today, you're bringing up NASCAR issues. Slowly but surely, I'm wheeling you in on my NASCAR little rod and reel here. And now you're talking about the past for NASCAR, and you're reading up on what we did.
I'm just curious what the fan base thinks on this. Because I don't know what to think. I haven't been told, like, what is good NASCAR fan etiquette. How do we approach these old drivers that are essentially screaming at the new generation to get off their lawn? I would choose to do it with like a laugh emoji and okay, old man comment, but I didn't because I don't know what like NASCAR fan etiquette is.
Amber, who's a bigger NASCAR fan than I am, she says, no, Denny wants to decrease the horsepower and work on the drag. Meaning making more holes in the pack. The 4 wide is a joke. It's only for TV for it to look good.
Oh, it looks good.
Oh, yeah, it looks good. I don't mind it at all. I mean, they can go side by side and race for like 200 laps. Like you're driving down the Los Angeles freeway.
Right, during rush hour.
And you're the guy that's in the middle of the pack looking for some sort of a hole to get to the front because you've got
Your wife is slapping you on the shoulder. Hey, you need to get into the other lane. You got to get in the other lane here.
Turn your damn blinker on. Get over here. No, I really enjoy that.
Yeah, I think it's great stuff.
They run in Atlanta, another big track coming up this week, so more of the same stuff for NASCAR this week. We mentioned hockey, college basketball last night.
Hoops.
Couple of surprises. Creighton, Knocked off number 5 UConn last night, 91-84. If you're following the story on the Josh Dix, he lost his mother to colon cancer a couple of weeks ago. And Josh Dix since then has been playing lights out for Creighton. He scored 21 in the ball game last night as Creighton upset the number 5 ranked team, UConn, 91-84. The only upset I see in the top 25, Missouri beat number 19 Vanderbilt last night in college basketball, 81-80. There's a big thriller between a couple of ranked teams. Number 25 Alabama beat number 20 Arkansas last night in 2 overtimes, 117-115. And the highest-ranked team in action last night was number 4 Arizona. They beat number 23 BYU, 75-68. Kansas, 8th-ranked Kansas, they won last night over Oklahoma State, 81-69. And 10th-ranked Illinois, winners over USC last night, 101-65. So those are the highlights from college basketball from last night.
Yeah, I mean, good on you to bring up the Creighton story, but I looked at that and I thought to myself, man, where did they even come from? I didn't know that was going on, kind of inside the locker room and losing a mother and being able to just play lights out. And rise to a whole other level. That's an amazing story in and of itself. But yeah, Creighton essentially coming from absolutely nowhere and knocking off UConn last night. That score definitely caught me by surprise. So get on the Jays, man.
You'll want to see what Creighton does if they can maybe sneak into the dance.
They've had an awful season.
They might be able to do something in the tournament.
Yeah, you need to win it basically.
Yeah. So. Let's see what else is going on. San Francisco 49ers, this kind of broke at the end of our show yesterday. The 49ers in 2026, they're going to play in Mexico City, and they're also going to be playing in Australia. They've got 2 international games coming up next year. Don't get me started on this. The NFL has got San Francisco playing 2 international games this year in Australia and Mexico City. They announced yesterday the Niners will be the home team for a regular season game in Mexico City. At his pre-Super Bowl news conference, NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell said the game will take place in December. The date, kickoff time, and opponent will be announced when the full NFL schedule is released later on this spring. The 49ers last played in Mexico City in 2022, a 38-10 win against the Arizona Cardinals. They also played there in 2005. For the 49ers, December's trip to Mexico means they will have 2 international games in the same regular season for the first time in franchise history. They will face the Rams at Australia's Melbourne Cricket Ground, a game that the league announced during Super Bowl week.
Cricket.
So the 49ers will play in Mexico City, and they'll play in Australia next season.
Well, they should stay pretty healthy then, getting away from their stadium, if we're still on that rabbit hole in theory that's being investigated. Doug Gottlieb, you know him?
Yep.
You know, the former ESPN college basketball anchor, then goes and coaches now for Green Bay in the Horizon League. I'm on Team Doug here, and I don't like the precedent that's being set, albeit being set by a minor conference, where you can suspend a coach for making comments about poor officiating. And you certainly went off and on a spiel about poor officiating yesterday and some of the worst calls you have seen ever. Fred, with a 2-minute post-game conference, probably elected to take the high road and not go blast the officials because he was pissed off. And this happens in basketball games, and there are calls that get made in game-changing moments. And I feel like if you feel like you were unjust in that, and you're trying to better the game's officiating by calling out the bad, you shouldn't be fined for that, or you shouldn't certainly be suspended for backing up your guys. Well, that's exactly what happened to Doug Gottlieb. He will miss Friday's game at Oakland as he serves a one-game suspension for his post-game rant about their loss at Milwaukee. The Horizon League announced that if suspended Gottlieb for a violation of the league's operating regulations after he went viral with a rant about officiating in that loss.
A lot of times you hear conferences fining coaches for their post-game comments about officials. I don't hear a suspension very often, but a lot of times coaches will get fined for going off on the refs. So, yeah, don't get me started on the referees either.
Right.
Kansas City Chiefs made a couple of moves yesterday. They restructured Patrick Mahomes' contract.
Oh.
Ahead of the 2026 season. The restructuring converts $54.45 million of his salary into a signing bonus and lowers the star quarterback's cap numbers now to $34.65 million. So the lawyers and the accountants getting together, they're trying to create some salary cap space for the Chiefs. And they've done this to Mahomes' contract each of the past 4 seasons.
And he's cool with it?
Yeah, he's cool with it as long as I'm making the money. I don't care if it's officially in the signing bonus category
right.
or you're going to pay me my salary at the end of the season. This is a guy who signed a $450 million contract with the Chiefs in 2020. So they've done this to create some salary cap room for the Kansas City Chiefs. They just restructure his contract. Mahomes' hit on the salary cap this year was at $78.2 million for one guy. So they restructured that. They created a little room. The Chiefs still have a little bit of negotiating to do. Chris Jones, their star defensive lineman, could be next as far as restructuring his contract. He's a $45 million hit against the cap this year. So now that they got the Patrick Mahomes deal settled, they'll go to work on Chris Jones. Chiefs are trying to free up some salary cap space to maybe sign some guys here during the offseason to help them out next year. Missed the playoffs this year for the first time in a while. One other thing, Rashid Rice, he's in trouble again with the Chiefs. He was the guy who last year pleaded guilty to felony collision involving serious bodily injury and racing on a highway, causing bodily injury for his role in a multi-car crash in Dallas in May of 2024.
Yep.
He was sentenced to 30 days in jail last year, 5 years probation, ordered to make restitution to some of the victims of the crash. He was driving 119 miles per hour before the crash. NFL stepped in, suspended him for 6 games last year for violating the league's personal conduct policy stemming from the incident. Well, now, an ex-girlfriend of Rashid Rice has filed a lawsuit in Texas alleging he repeatedly assaulted her during an 18-month span from 2023 to 2025. Dakota Jones said she was pregnant during many of the alleged assaults. She's seeking $1 million from Rashid Rice. Jones alleges that Rice strangled her in December of 2023 and exhibited a history of abusive behavior during the relationship in Texas and Missouri until July of 2025. But in checking with police records in both Texas and Missouri, nothing was ever filed with the authorities there. But now she's alleging assaults by Chiefs wide receiver Rashid Rice. She is seeking $1 million.
If it's true, then he gets out of the league for good. If it's not, then
nothing was ever filed in either Texas or Missouri.
On an assault case.
He said, I said. So now Rashid Weiss, who dealt with the stuff I told you about from that car crash, now this offseason he's got to deal with an ex-girlfriend. Sounds like she's pissed off about something. $1 million. She's seeking $1 million in compensation from Rashid Weiss. 402-834-1330 is our telephone number if you'd like to chime in with us today. 402-834-1330. That's the Hamilton Telecommunications fan line. If you'd like to leave us a message on our social media sites, you can do that as well. Lots of folks standing by in the lobby here today. We've got lots of things to talk about when we come back after we check our news break. Adams Central, kudos to the Adams Central girls wrestling team. They won the state championship in girls wrestling yesterday in Omaha. Patriots will hang a banner. Girls state wrestling champions in Class B. They won despite not claiming an individual championship. Finished with 89.5 points to win the Class B title. Columbus Lakeview was second with 82 points. Omaha Westside, they won the Class A state championship in girls wrestling, second time in their program's history. Kearney finished as the runner-up. Now we switch to the boys state wrestling championship, so get underway today in Omaha. So those are some of the things we're talking about here today. We got lots more to come. Will Bolt is standing by. Get some comments from him, Husker baseball coach, as we continue with Huddle Up on Extreme Sports for this Thursday.
It's time for a morning news update on Extreme Sports.
Hastings Fire and Rescue responded to a grass fire Tuesday east of Highway 281 between East Laughlin Road and 42nd Street. The fire covered 2 to 3 acres, quickly spreading to the north and northeast. The fire was under control in about 40 minutes. The cause of the fire still under investigation. No injuries were reported. Meanwhile, a Grand Island man whose arrest stemmed from a physical altercation during a student protest has been released after the Hall County attorney dropped a child abuse charge against him. Police had initially booked 54-year-old Michael Brown after he reportedly confronted and struck a juvenile near a walkout against ICE, but protesters decided not to pursue the case. The investigation into the protest fight continues, and officials are still reviewing the available evidence. It is coming up on 7:29. We'll head over to the East Side Studios. Mike, what's going down in sports?
Well, the Nebraska women's basketball team will play at Oregon tonight. Huskers have lost 5 games in a row. They are 16-10 in the season, 5-10 in the conference after Monday's 80-67 loss to Iowa. The Ducks are 18-9. They're 6-8 in the conference after losing to Washington 51-43 on Sunday. Tip-off will be at 8. The Nebraska baseball team will play 3 games this weekend in the college baseball series in Arlington, Texas. Huskers will play Louisville on Friday, Kansas State on Saturday, Florida State on Sunday. Nebraska is 3-1 in the season with wins over UConn, Northeastern, and Grand Canyon. They lost to Stanford on Monday during the Major League Baseball, the MLB Desert Invitational down in Arizona. Nebraska head football coach Matt Rule has officially announced the promotion of 2 assistant coaches to lead the Huskers special teams and the hiring of a defensive assistant. Brett Maher will serve as Nebraska's special teams coordinator, while Nick Humphrey has been named the co-special teams coordinator. That has been widely speculated for the past couple of weeks, and Matt has made it official now. He's also brought on Tyler Yelk. He'll join the Huskers staff as the safeties coach after spending the past 3 seasons on the staff of the Philadelphia Eagles. Micah Heinrichs drained a three-pointer as time expired last night to give Hastings College a 61-58 win over Doane to keep their postseason playoff hopes alive. Heinrichs finished with 16 points, had 5 rebounds. Deron Hall led the way with 17.6 rebounds, 5 assists, and 2 steals. Hastings is now 8-19 in the season. They are 7-12 in the conference. They'll play Concordia on Saturday. Now, Hastings has to beat Concordia, and Midland has to lose to Doane to reach the conference tournament next week. Meanwhile, the Hastings College women's basketball team, they beat Doane last night, 83-62. Bailey Kissinger and Ann Bowes had 15 points apiece for the Broncos. McKenna Yates had 13. Jocelyn Miller had 11. Hastings is now 20-7. They're 16-5 in the conference. They'll also play host to Concordia on Saturday. The winner of that game will get the number 3 seed in the conference tournament next week. As we mentioned, Adams Central has won the Class B Girls State Wrestling Championship. Patriots won the title without crowning an individual champion. Adams Central finishing with 89.5 points. Lakeview was second with 82. Omaha Westside won the Class A state title for the second time in the program's history. Kearney finished runner-up. The boys will take to the mats today. Girls Subdistrict Basketball Championships are scheduled for tonight. However, the game between St. Cecilia and Ord in the C2-7 final has been postponed until Saturday. Some of the other games tonight, Central City will play at Milford. Holdridge is at Malcolm. Hershey is at Alma. Maxwell will play Centura at Sandy Creek. Tri-County is at Sutton. Kennesaw is at Shelton. And McCool Junction will play at Red Cloud. That's a check in your sports headlines coming up on 7:33 on Extreme Sports.
It's time for a morning weather update on Extreme Sports with Chief Meteorologist Tim Jones.
Snow spreads into the area on Thursday morning, overall either side of an inch, likely for Hastings, a little more in Grand Island and Kearney, and the further north you go up to the South Dakota border. Also, it'll be chilly, highs today in the upper 20s, with winds out of the southwest changing to the northwest at gusting up to 35 miles per hour. Overnight tonight, a low of 11. Chance of some light snow Friday into Friday night into Saturday morning. Overall, will be cooler through the weekend with highs only in the 30s and 40s.
As you wake up, get going here this morning, we've got north winds at 20 miles per hour. It is cloudy, and it's 21 in Hastings at Extreme Sports.
Hi guys, this is Justin Consrick with Adam Marshall Land and Auction. Just want to talk to you about how we do things. I talk to farmers every day. A lot of guys just want a simple, honest way to sell equipment. That's why I work with Adam Marshall Land and Auction. We know the equipment, we know the buyers. We run real auctions with no buyer's fees, which brings in more bidders and stronger results. From one machine to the full lineup, we handle marketing, the details, the sales start to finish. We're just real people with real auctions, real results. If you're thinking about auctioning equipment, reach out and give me a call at 308-991-5429.
I'm John Butler, funeral director and owner at Livingston Butler Vollen Funeral Home and Cremation Center in Hastings.
And I'm Nikki Butler, the advanced funeral planning specialist. Whether you choose a traditional service, cremation, or a unique memorial service, our experienced staff is here to help guide you through every step. Visit us at lbvfh.com to learn more about our services and how we can support you.
Livingston Butler Vollen Funeral Home and Cremation Center. We are here when your need is greatest.
If you're looking to buy or sell a home, see the professionals at North Shore Real Estate of Hastings. Real estate is one of the largest and most exciting investments you can make, and the folks at North Shore Real Estate are here to make sure the process is a fun and rewarding one. They serve Hastings, Harvard, Blue Hill, Kennesaw, and several other communities within a 35-mile radius of Hastings. They'll give you the guidance and support you need throughout the entire buying or selling experience. Give them a call at 402-461-6930 or stop in at 100 North Shore Drive in Hastings. North Shore Real Estate. Excellent agents, outstanding results.
Hamilton has been providing IT solutions for businesses across the state of Nebraska for more than 3 decades. We know that Nebraska businesses are a driving force of support for the communities in which we live and work. We keep them connected and protected by delivering cybersecurity, hosted phones, and managed IT. We are grateful to be part of our Nebraska communities and to support their technology needs.
More information at
Get ready for the ultimate trivia experience with Extreme Sports Trivia. Play from anywhere at home, on the go, or at your favorite bar or restaurant. Compete live against players from all over in real time, answering questions across categories like sports, pop culture, Marvel, and more. Want to see how you stack up? Track your progress with live leaderboards and aim for the top spot. It's free, fun, and super easy to play. So what are you waiting for? Sign up today at extremesports.com trivia and start playing now. And keep an eye out. We're coming soon to a bar or restaurant near you. Or restaurant near you.
You're listening to Huddle Up on Extreme Sports. Mike Will, Tyson and Bronick with you on this Thursday. Again, we've got snow in the forecast. You just heard Tim Jones in the forecast. Could see a little snow on and off throughout the day here in Hastings. We're expecting about an inch. Things are going to be much worse the further north you get, up around Broken Bow, Ord, that area. They're expecting over 5 inches of snow today. Columbus expecting about 5.5 inches of snow. Thetford, out of the boonies, Thetford is expecting 7.5 inches of snow today. Even into the Omaha Metro, you could see up to 3 inches, maybe 3.5 inches of snow. There is a winter storm warning for a little portion of the state. Basically, 3-4 counties wide, maybe stretching to the central part of the state, north central part, stretching into Omaha. That's where the winter storm warning is out. Going to have some windy conditions, northwest winds up to 35, which is going to blow the snow around. So be careful you're heading that way. We were supposed to have basketball tonight with that sub-district final between St. Cecilia and Ord. Ord's not in school today because of the snow, so they're not coming down. They're going to try to play that game on Saturday afternoon at 3 at the Chapman Gym. We gave you the schedule for everybody else here tonight.
So I got.
Yeah, go ahead.
Before you roll,
yeah.
Hastings College men's buzzer beater win last night.
Yep, Mike Heinrich
knocked off Doan, and now, if I was listening to your sportscast correctly, we have to do what we don't normally do from the Hastings College contingency standpoint. We have to cheer for Doan this weekend?
Yeah, we beat up on them last night. We beat them at the buzzer. They were,
and now they're our best friends.
Yeah, they were not happy when they left last night. And now we have to have Doan beat Midland on Saturday to get in. That's if we beat Concordia on Saturday.
And Concordia's tough.
Yeah, they're tough. So that'll be – it's baby steps, though. We're still alive. You get to the final game of the regular season with something to play for.
Yeah, that's all you can ask for, right?
So Hastings has to beat Concordia on Saturday. Our good friends in Crete, Doan, they've got to beat Midland at home on Saturday. Then we get the number 8 seed in the conference tournament, and we get to make another trip to Morningside, play the top-ranked, the top-seeded Morningside Mustangs.
Mm-hmm.
Dort won the women's championship, by the way, on the women's side of things last night. They beat Dakota Wesleyan, so they're the regular season champs. Hastings will play for the number 3 seed in the conference tournament Saturday if they can beat Concordia. So,
and they're not going to fall out of hosting, right?
No, they're going to be fine.
Yep.
They'll either be a 3 or a 4.
Yep, that's what I thought.
All right, so that's what's going on with the Bronco basketball. Nebraska baseball. Huskers opening up the season with a 4-game series over the weekend down in Arizona. They went 3-1 in their opening weekend. We mentioned as they beat Yukon, Northeastern, Grand Canyon. They lost to Stanford on Monday, so they're 3-1.
Really just had one bad inning.
Yeah, against Stanford.
One bad inning against Stanford, and that was the one loss. Other than that, I thought pretty impressive opening weekend.
Will Bolt, the head coach for the Huskers, says the offensive approach in the first 4 games was pretty good for his team.
We did kind of what we expected to do, I think, just in terms of you never put a number on the number of runs or hits. I kind of tend to focus on more things that we could control and, just having good at-bats, having extended at-bats, competing with 2 strikes, having an approach and a plan and situational hitting that we could go execute, which we did at a high level, I felt like. And so it was good to see kind of that group, of guys go out there and play well together too.
And the coach says he learned a lot about his team on the opening weekend.
Win or lose, the first weekend, every weekend, every time you play, you find something out. But I think that first weekend kind of gives you like an indication of like, okay, this is the parts that we thought we had. They showed up. Maybe the personality of the team more than anything too. We thought we had a tight knit group. We felt like we had a group of guys that were going to play and have the intensity level that it takes to win. And all those things showed up the first weekend. But we just got to keep it up.
And the Huskers playing in Arlington, Texas this weekend. Louisville Friday, Kansas State on Saturday, Florida State on Sunday. Right now the coach says he's just concentrating in that first ball game.
Obviously they have a bunch of high-level athletes, and I know they put up a big number yesterday, 20-something runs I believe it was yesterday. So, they're going to be well coached. Their aspirations are to win a national championship, just like the other 2 teams in this tournament. So maybe if that's something they have in common, then that'd probably be that.
Again, the Huskers sitting at 3-1 after the opening weekend, and Will Bolt says a lot of positive signs came out of that opening weekend down in Arizona.
I think just seeing some of those young arms, that we'd hope that we're going to throw well, that it was good to see them kind of get their feet wet and throw a couple of zeros up there. And, guys that just hadn't quite been in the fire yet. It was good to see them get in there and do that. And Drew Grigo, freshman on a veteran lineup, coming in and getting his first career hit. Obviously Jeter, got his first career hit out of the way pretty early. So there was some good signs.
All right, that's Will Bolt as they get ready to take off for Texas. Arlington, Texas. They'll play 3 games. I think they're taking a little step up in competition this week. Louisville on Friday night, Kansas State on Saturday, Florida State on Sunday. So we'll see how the Huskers fare this weekend in Texas.
Yeah, it's a pretty stiff competition. Louisville got an opportunity to put eyeballs on them last year a couple different times, and he mentioned the 20 runs they put up earlier in the week. Just explosive bats 1 through 9. Man, there's no opportunity to take any time off against a team like Louisville. And then you throw in Florida State. They're a perennial contender for Omaha each and every year in college baseball side of things. Kansas State, a team that's been playing some pretty good ball as of late. Had an opportunity, I think, last year to get to the doorstep. And so, it should be some fun ball coming up this weekend. And then we get that 3-game road trip. I'm really looking forward to ending the month of February. I want to see Nebraska and Auburn in that 3-game series. I think that is going to be can't miss baseball. Grab the popcorn, bush lattes, whatever you got to do to get you through 9 innings of ball. That Nebraska-Auburn is going to be good stuff at the end of the month.
All right, so something to look forward to for Nebraska baseball. Again, 402-834-1330 is our telephone number. Time to chat with you here today. Love to talk to you at the breakfast table, whatever is on your mind here today. Leave us a message on the social media sites as well. I see Tyreek Hill was working out yesterday in Kansas City.
According to our Chiefs insider reporter, Amber, yeah. We'll see how bad Chris Jones wants Tyreek Hill, maybe, as you work through the restructuring of the contract. And that's just it, Mike. We talk about the potential landing spots for some of these guys. And, obviously the Tyreek fit would be poetic, I think, at best, with everybody kind of getting back together and getting the band back together and trying to make another run at it. I think Kansas City, from the fan perspective, you got to think that would be a pretty exciting venture. But, I looked at the numbers heading into the offseason and the salary cap that the teams had to work with, the amount of money that they had to go and could approach players in the offseason with. Kansas City's towards the bottom of that list, man.
Oh, they're still over. I told you about
red, man.
Yeah, I told you about the restructuring of the Mahomes deal. That's great, but they're still $57 million over the cap for next year. They're going to work on Chris Jones next. Then I think they're going to cut ties with some people.
Yeah.
They got one of the best general managers in the league. They have restructured Patrick's contract 4 years in a row to get under the salary cap. And I can remember after Kansas City won their first Super Bowl, maybe their second one, the Chiefs were way, way over on the salary cap. And we had a bunch of guys that we had to re-sign to contracts. And I was sitting with a bunch of sports people at the local establishment following the Super Bowl. He says, well, you guys better enjoy this one because you're not going to be back next year. There's no way you're going to sign all those guys next year.
Right.
Guess what happened?
They signed all the guys.
We signed all the guys and brought in some. I ran into the guy later on that was giving me guff. I said, how do you like that? He says, how in the hell did the Chiefs do that? I said, we got one of the best general managers in the league. He'll make it work. He'll make it work. The Chiefs will get under the salary cap. We'll have enough space to sign Tyreek Hill if we want him.
Are you saying don't press the panic button?
Don't press the panic button yet.
Everything's just
right. Fine. Chiefs will be in the playoffs next year.
Wow.
Don't push the panic button. Tyreek Hill, of course, he got let go by the Dolphins. If you're trying to get up to date on what's going on, he got let go by the Dolphins. He's got two possible landing spots. The Chiefs are the obvious one. The second.
He didn't get let go. He said deuces, right? He told them no thanks.
Well, he got let go.
I don't think he was going to get re-signed.
No.
For that kind of money.
So, obviously, he got let go by the team.
Yeah.
So, either way, he's not at Miami anymore. So, anyway, the Chiefs are the obvious landing choice for Tyreek Hill since he's already in Kansas City working out at their facility. The second landing choice being mentioned, Buffalo Bills.
I can't see it, but I guess, dude, if we're going to invest in wide receivers, some young talent, that's just it. I want it to be young talent.
Yeah, Tyreek is going to be like 32, I think I read earlier in the week.
I just don't want that investment for my franchise.
And who knows how he's going to come back from a pretty serious injury from a season ago.
He like blew out his knee, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's going to have the speed to get downfield, which he was known for in his heyday at Kansas City. Is he going to have the speed and the agility that it takes to be a wide receiver?
That speed goes away real quick, trust me.
Well, you're going to be 32, number one.
Yeah.
And then number two, coming up of a serious injury. So, yeah, anyway, I thought that was interesting. Two landing spots for Tyreek Hill, Kansas City, the obvious one.
As a Bills fan, I'm saying pass. I would pass on Tyreek Hill. I think
with your receiving core that you've got at Buffalo.
What receiving core?
That's what I said. you don't have a receiving core. If Tyreek Hill was available, and you could make it work, chances are he'll be at Buffalo.
I think that's a big investment for a very short time payoff, and the payoff at that, Mike, is questionable whether that even pays off. So high risk, low reward.
You talk short term. I think the window is closing for Buffalo.
Oh, without a doubt.
And we talked about it right after the playoff run for Buffalo. Their playoff run, their chances, their window is closing rapidly with Josh Allen. So maybe they might take a gamble on a short-term reward on the Tyreek Hill.
Possible. But I wouldn't
It's
like
possible. So, all right, that's just some of the things that are going on in the sports world today. Matt Rule finally made it official. We knew this 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
I looked at this yesterday and said, wait, this is old news.
Didn't we do this already?
Yeah, didn't we? But he never announced it.
It's not officially official.
It's not official until it's official. Matt Rule has officially announced now that he's promoting 2 assistant coaches to handle our special teams. Brent Maher will serve as the special teams coordinator, and he's going to get some help from Nick Humphrey as the co-special teams coordinator. I guess the new news is Tyler Yelk is going to join the Huskers staff as the safeties coach now. He spent the past 3 seasons on the staff of the Philadelphia Eagles. So that was the news coming out of Husker camp yesterday. I looked at that and thought, wait, is this an old story? And it was dated yesterday. I thought, why is he announcing this now? We all knew that Brent Maher is going to be the special teams coordinator and Nick Humphrey is going to assist him.
Yeah. No, I'll be honest, into the offseason, and you talk about the players that hit the portal and the roster makeup and shakeup that we're going to have to do and everything that goes on with just your regular roster. The gut punch for me in the offseason was losing Eckler. That was the gut punch because I thought, man, our special teams came around so much this year. What a huge jump, and the fire and the passion and just the energy that he brought to the sidelines. I was a huge supporter and believer of what he was doing. I have no doubt that Maher will be a good fit. I have no reason not to believe him at this point, like that we'll still be making positive strides on special teams. But you lose a guy like Eck. And I think you're going to see the results on the field. That's one area that I was really happy with finally getting shored up, and now I have some question marks heading into 2027.
Yeah, we were awful on special teams before I got here.
Without a doubt.
I mean, god awful.
It was bad. Teams. We could not get the ball from the long snapper to the punter without a disaster.
Or a field goal holder missing balls, or the center getting balls back to the holder. Hell, we couldn't do that on special teams. Some of the basic things that we learned.
Basic special teams.
the Pee Wee League. I mean, midget football.
Right.
So, anyway, that's a couple of words out of the Nebraska football camp. They're getting ready for their spring drill. Not the spring drills. Yeah, they call them spring drills, I guess.
Isn't there like before spring practice opens up, there's like a little 2-week period?
I think we're in it right now.
Is that what we're in right now?
Yeah, then when the spring workouts will start here, I think next weekend.
It's like winter workouts or something like that.
Or is it this weekend?
Hell, I don't know.
Workouts begin. Well, we'll bring you up to date on that as we roll on. I'm sure next week, hey, if they're working out, I'm sure we're going to hear from Coach Rule.
Oh, probably get some
He'll be
availability.
Yeah, we got the availability on this show. You'll hear from him here on this show. 7:54. Do what?
I said we can pull from his podcast if we get desperate.
Is he still doing that?
Yeah.
I haven't heard it for a while. Maybe today when I don't have anything to do, I'll dial him up.
House rules.
House rules. I'll dial him up and see what's going on. I've got a long list of podcasts I have to listen to today. Hell, I might not get out of my sleep pants today.
Oh, no, his last episode, never mind. Yeah, you're right. His last episode was December 18th.
Yeah, he's not doing it. He's taking a couple of weeks off. Well, you can cross that podcast off of the list then. 7:55. Waking up with Mike and Tyson here this morning. It's Huddle Up on Extreme Sports.
It's time for a morning news update on Extreme Sports.
Hastings Fire and Rescue responded to a grass fire Tuesday east of Highway 281 between East Laughlin Road and 42nd Street. Fire covered 2 to 3 acres, quickly spreading to the north-northeast. The fire was under control in about 40 minutes. Cause of the fire is still under investigation and no injuries were reported. Meanwhile, the Grand Island man whose arrest stemmed from a physical altercation during a student protest has been released after the Hall County attorney dropped a child abuse charge against him. Police initially booked 54-year-old Michael Brown on the charges after he reportedly confronted and struck a juvenile near a walkout against ICE, but prosecutors decided not to pursue the case. The investigation into the protest continues, and officials are still reviewing the available evidence. That's redundant. 7:55. Let's head over to Mike Will on the East Side Studios with sports.
The Nebraska women's basketball team will play at Oregon tonight. Huskers have lost 5 games in a row. Tip-off will be at 8 o'clock out in Eugene. The Nebraska baseball team will play 3 games this weekend in the college baseball series in Arlington, Texas. Huskers will play Louisville on Friday, Kansas State on Saturday, Florida State on Sunday. Nebraska head football coach Matt Rule has officially announced the promotion of 2 assistant coaches to lead the Nebraska special teams and the hiring of a defensive assistant. Brent Maher will serve as Nebraska's special teams coordinator, while Nick Humphrey has been named the co-special teams coordinator. Tyler Yoke will join the Huskers staff as safeties coach after spending the past 3 seasons on the staff of the Philadelphia Eagles. Micah Heinrichs drained a 3-pointer as time expired last night to give Hastings College a 61-58 win over Doane to keep their postseason playoff hopes alive. Broncos will play Concordia on Saturday. They'll need to beat Concordia and have Midland lose to Doane to reach the conference tournament next week. Hastings College women's basketball team, they took care of business. They beat Doane last night, 83-62. Broncos will play Concordia on Saturday. Winner of that game will get the number 3 seed in the conference tournament that gets underway on Wednesday. Adams Central has won the Class B Girls State Wrestling Championship, and the Patriots did it without crowning an individual champion. Adams Central finished with 89.5 points. Lakeview was second with 82. Omaha Westside won the Class A state championship for the second time in the program's history. The boys' state wrestling championships will get underway today. Girls Subdistrict basketball championships are scheduled for tonight. However, the game between St. Cecilia and Ord in the C2-7 final has been postponed until Saturday. In some of the other games tonight, Central City will play at Milford. Holdridge is at Malcolm. Hershey is at Alma. Maxwell will play at Centura. Actually, Maxwell will play Centura at Sandy Creek. Tri-County is at Sutton. Kennesaw is at Shelton. And McCool Junction will play at Red Cloud. That's a check in your sports headlines at 7:58 on Extreme Sports.
It's time for a morning weather update on Extreme Sports with Chief Meteorologist Tim Jones.
Snow spreads into the area on Thursday morning, overall either side of an inch, likely for Hastings, a little more in Grand Island and Kearney, and the further north you go up to the South Dakota border. Also, it'll be chilly, highs today in the upper 20s, with winds out of the southwest changing to the northwest at gusting up to 35 miles per hour. Overnight tonight, a low of 11. Chance of some light snow Friday into Friday night into Saturday morning. Overall will be cooler through the weekend with highs only in the 30s and 40s.
As you wake up, get going this morning. North winds at 20. Cloudy skies 21 in Hastings. Wind chill is sitting at 1 above at Extreme Sports.
Hey, this is Mick from Miletta Vista Winery in St. Paul. Just a reminder, winter hours will be Saturdays, 11:30 to 9, January through February. That's just one day a week. But come in for lunch. Homemade soup specials on Saturdays. Stick around for the evening meals that start at 5. And while you're at it, stock up on your favorite wines. Workhorse, Elephant Ear, Steuben Tiger, and more are available at Miletta Vista and wherever great Nebraska wines are sold. Miletta Vista Winery. Good wine, good food, no snow boots required, but we won't judge.
Join us for the Little Blue River Pheasants Forever Banquet and Auction on Saturday, February 21st at the Adams County Fairgrounds in Hastings. Social hour begins at 5:30 p.m. with dinner at 7 p.m. Tickets are available at the door for just $25 for adults and $20 for kids under 16. There will be an auction after dinner, and at least 16 youth guns will be given away for ages 5 to 16. Must be present to win. All proceeds from the youth raffle go to the Youth Mentor Hunt and other youth programs, and there will be lots of other raffles too. Don't miss out on the fun.
Connet Auto Care is the trusted name in automotive repair and maintenance services in Hastings. We're a gold-certified Napa Auto Care Center. Our ASE-certified technicians have the Blue Seal of Excellence, receive continuous training, and are committed to providing the best service your vehicle can get. Whether it's preventative maintenance, major repairs, or just an oil change, Connet Auto Care is here for you.
All right, Mike Will, Science Center Veronica with you. Let's huddle up on Extreme Sports. And our basketball game tonight has been postponed. We're going to have St. Cecilia and Ord on the air tonight. C2-7 sub-district final from the Chapman Gym. That game has been postponed until Saturday. I think the starting time, they told me 3 o'clock on Saturday afternoon. So no basketball tonight at the Chapman Gym. Everybody else going to be in action, or at least as far as I know right now. We'll see how the weather develops throughout the day today. So if you're heading to a basketball game tonight, you might want to maybe call ahead, call your friends and make sure everything's going to take place as usual tonight. But everybody in our area looks like everything should go as scheduled tonight for basketball.
That's always the most annoying phone call you get when you're making a long road trip somewhere to go do play-by-play for a basketball game, i.e. McCook, when I was doing Northwest ball. And I'm halfway to McCook, and my boss calls me, the bus turned around. McCook's not going to play. Alrighty.
I've done that a couple of times.
Yeah, alright. That was a fun day.
It happens a lot with baseball.
Yep.
Most recently, I was on my way to North Platte. Got almost to North Platte, and they said, they decided they're not going to play.
We were pretty close to we had question marks. Let's just say that when we went up to state baseball last year.
Oh yeah,
and there was that window, and we were driving up the whole way, and we were like, "What freaking window are you guys talking about?"
There was like a 80% chance of rain throughout the day in Lincoln. You and I were traveling together.
We know we're going up here to turn right back around and go home.
There was a small window, they said. I said, what small window? It was pouring rain. God, it was pouring rain the entire way there.
Yep.
Got there, got set up. Rain stopped.
Did the games. Then it started pouring again.
Yeah. All right. Tomorrow we've got Jim Sliker. He's going to join us.
That's Friday already?
Yep, our horse racing expert.
Hell yeah.
From the Nebraska Thoroughbred Racing Network. He's going to join us tomorrow morning as he takes a look at the action from last weekend, see how he did. He'll have some more picks for you for this weekend. Weekend number 2 at Fowler Park.
Do I have any deadlines that I have to hit for fantasy NASCAR? Or can I just wake up Saturday and...
No, you got to get him in by qualifying this week.
By when the hell is that?
Let's see, Sunday, probably be qualifying sometime on Saturday.
What if my driver doesn't qualify?
Your guys will qualify.
I'm pretty bad at picking.
They might be at the back of the pack, which you don't want to see in the super speedway.
No.
So, yeah, you're in Atlanta this week. You got to get them in. Just do it today. You got time to
research.
do it today. Just do it today. If you'd like to listen to the show, you missed portions of the show, had some comments from Will Bolt, the Nebraska baseball coach today. Talked a lot in the first half hour about various topics. If you missed that, you can download the show on the podcast, any one of our social media sites, and listen to the show at your convenience today. Make plans to be here tomorrow morning at 7 o'clock for a Huddle Up. Have yourself a great day.
You've been listening to Huddle Up on Extreme Sports, Central Nebraska's new home for sports. Join us every weekday morning from